So hi, my name is Dolejsi. I'm the Applications Engineering Manager for IPEX, and we're here at ASPE 2024. So now we're going to talk about our double containment systems. So double containment, I often get asked, why would you need to double contain piping? Well, the primary reason is EPA requirements. So if you're conveying hazardous substances or storing them below ground, the tank and associated piping needs to have some form of containment or leak mitigation. You can put it in a concrete trench, which is very expensive and costly, or what you can do is contain your tank and your piping with another piping system. So essentially what we have is a pipe inside of a slightly larger pipe, so that when your primary pipe leaks inside of your containment, it gets collected inside of that containment and you're not going to contaminate the groundwater or the ground and the soil. So double containment systems are available in thermoplastic materials, PVC, CPVC. We also at IPEX get into or dissimilar materials. So we can do plastics inside of plastics, metals inside of metals, as well as metals inside of plastics, really allowing for a customization of what's going through the pipework to be accommodated. So if you had something that was high pressure or high temperature, you could have a metal system inside of a plastic system, or a metal inside of metal. We can get into fuel oils, and we can get into pretty much any hazardous substance that's required. A lot of this gets used in water and wastewater treatment, where obviously you're conveying chemicals throughout the plant for the water treatment process. What we see here is actually an example of a PVC inside of PVC system with a low point leak detection attached to it. So again, EPA mandates that if you have a pressurized system, you need some sort of continuous monitoring. And that continuous monitoring could be something what you see here. So you have a low point. If there's a leak in the system, it accumulates in the low point. In here, as it fills up, it sets off your sensor, which would go back to an electronic panel that could then be tied into the overall management system of the building. Now, do you only use double containment for EPA mandated applications? No. There are a lot of applications where you're trying to protect property or personnel. We get into healthcare quite a bit, where if you're remodeling in a hospital building and you have piping running over critical systems, such as operating suites or operation suites, you would double contain those lines over those critical areas. Obviously, if you had even something simple like a water line, you have your copper hot and cold water lines running over an operating room. If that leaks during an operation, it could mean someone's life. So we want to contain those lines over those critical areas to make sure that they're not going to leak. And so we get into hospitals a lot for that. We get into server rooms. Again, servers have now become a necessity. They're no longer a nice to have. And you could have water lines, condensate lines, stormwater drainage lines, very simple systems that you would never think of containing. But again, when you're over a critical area where you can't have a leak, you might want to contain those systems and make sure that you're protecting those areas from any potential leak as well. So that's why you would want to use double containment systems. You know, again, mainly EPA mandates for corrosive chemicals, but also for property and personnel protection as well.